Welcome friends to this video. I'm going to teach you what I've learned in drawing the forearm. So let's get started. I'd like to break this video up into a few different parts so we can kind of get a better idea of what the arm looks like in different positions. So we have the anterior or the front view. We'll do the posterior, the back view, and the lateral side and the side view. So let's get started. First, we'll take a look at the anatomy character and kind of get an idea what it looks like. So in case you're curious, this is called the Essential Anatomy app for the iPad. And we'll take a look at the arm. Let's take a look at the front view first. In order to make this simple, I've also broken the forearm muscles down into groups as well. And you're gonna see two groups from each angle. So for example, in this one here, this right here is a group of muscles that essentially do one movement, and that's called the flexor. So that moves your wrists down. And so they attach here, up here at the back, or at the humerus, and they go along the ulna side, and they go along, attach into the palm, and they flex the arm down. Then you have the one that attaches the other side on the front of the radialis, and this is called brachioradialis because it's attached to the radius on this side and comes up here. Another view you might look at it here, and that is responsible for twisting or supinating, pronating or supinating your arm. So let's go ahead and draw that, and so we can kind of get a better idea, practice it in our memory of what this looks like. So I'm gonna hide this layer as our preview, and we'll start a new one so we can kind of draw this together. So I've got some background skeletons from a previous videos. I'll link that if you're interested. Always encourage you to start with the bones first and then add on the muscle later. So let's go ahead and add our muscle. I also apologize, it's pretty simple, like the hand is just a representation. I'll do a better job and when I do a hand tutorial. So the way you kind of think of it is just like a drumstick, I guess. It's thicker at the top and then it gets skinnier and it gets kind of square, rectangular at the bottom. So this kind of gives you the shape of what the forearm is going to look like. And then we'll break the top up into the two groups. And we'll start with the back here along the ulna. And I'm just going to kind of, well, sketch in some lines here. So the tendons are pretty long. They come up here quite a ways. And then once you start to the meatier part, that's when you get the muscle group. And so I'm going to angle it in kind of like this and angle it along the ulna bone. And so this is our first one here. That is called our flexors. So flexing the wrist down. And then on the other side, same thing, attached to this side of the humerus. And it goes actually underneath the flexors and then along the radius and attaches here to the radius bone here. And that one is a little trickier. I'm going to have to use my reference, but it's called brachioradialis. Hopefully I got that spelled correctly. All right, so that one attaches here. So that one's the muscle here, and you can see that one, and then the other muscles here. And if you put your arm like this, you can kind of feel them as you flex. All right, so now let's go ahead and look at the posterior view. So we're gonna go back to our app here and spin this guy around to posterior view and take a look. And you can see similarly, we have two groups of muscles that we're gonna talk about. Let's start here with this group here. This one goes along the radius here and then attaches to the back of the hand. And so these are called the extensors. So you have flexors and extensors. Okay, so extensors come down here and then attach to this side of the humerus. And then we actually have the flexors also visible. So this group here is going to be attached to this side along the ulna and down to this side of the humerus. So that is visible on this view. So we have both flexors and extensors visible on this side of the forearm. So let's draw that so we can kind of get a better idea what that looks like on the posterior view. So I will start here and just draw some tendons, and it kind of wraps around, and then some more tendons here that are attached to the back of the hand, and then an angular view We draw some angles here along the forearm. And so here are what are called the extensors. And then on the back side of the ulna, it's going to go underneath the extensors and then along the elbow down to the, along the ulna, down to the pinky. And this is a flexor muscle group. So there's the two views on the back side of on the arm. Okay, now one more. Let's take a look at our model again from the side view. Now you're going to be familiar with these two groups that we've talked about. Let's talk about the top one here. This is the brachioradialis again. So that one here is on the top of the radialis. Same thing over here. So it's going to go from the thumb to the radius side of the humerus. And then on the back side, we have an extensor. So the back of the hand down here, down the ulna side of the elbow, and attached to this side of the humerus. So let's draw that one. And I think we'll start with here. So we'll go kind of shape down here, the tendons connect here, and then the muscle angles down here along the ulna bone, kind of like this. And then same thing here, we'll draw some tendons. This is where the brachioradialis goes along here, and then it attaches to the, kind of attaches here, the radialis, and these go in parallel, kind of similar like this. So that's our forearm muscle from the side view. All right, so this one, brachioradialis, and this one is an extensor. There we go. All right, so that kind of gives you from different views. I would encourage you to practice this in different angles and practice as much as you can. And if you're just beginning, get those three groups and then drill into the more of the muscles as you get better at it. Hopefully this is a good reference for you. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or even suggestions if you'd like to see more videos like these or future ones. The next one I'm planning to do work on is the the upper arm, so the bicep, tricep, and deltoid. Be sure to stay tuned and subscribe so you won't miss the upcoming videos, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. See you next time.